Go here now. Let's check this out. We're moving on to the situation about the migrants, okay? And the thing of this is it's thousands of migrants headed for the border, like I told you guys in the beginning of the broadcast and things like that. Let's dive off into this. This is very serious. They've been keeping up with the election somehow, some way, TV, radio. Of course, they have phones, and they've been keeping up. So now these illegals are panicking. They're wanting to rush over here immediately to get over here to get the benefits and things like that that our government and us as taxpayers are allowing our government to actually, dish out these benefits to these people like it's fucking candy, in a damn candy store. Let's keep going.
Happening right now, cities along the southern border are bracing for a massive migrant caravan making its way through Mexico. 2,000 migrants who crossed into southern Mexico on Sunday.
And this was 6 days ago.
Say time is of the essence, saying they're afraid of asylum changes under a new president come January, worried that this is their last chance to get into the country. News Nation's Jorge Ventura has the latest from San Antonio this morning. Jorge, I'm curious how these cities are now preparing for another new migrant surge.
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, so this caravan is around 2,000 migrants. It's on its way north right now to the U.S.-Mexico border. And officials across Texas say they are in active alert, including officials in El Paso. Now, officials in El Paso are adding that they are tracking that caravan's movement and are in active conversation with Mexican authorities. Many migrants are now viewing this as kind of their last chance to make it into the United States and seek asylum. With that upcoming election, migrants are expected that with a Trump administration, with that possibly of winning in November, that the Trump administration could introduce more of those hardline immigration policies and cracking down on asylum, but also ending that CBP-1 Act, which Mexican officials say now migrants are growing very impatient with and say that we could possibly see even more of these smaller groups come here to the U.S. Now, right now, Marky, it's unclear if that migrant group would.
I mean, look at that. Just look at this. Look how far the line goes back. Y'all see the two semi trucks right there, and the line stretches all the way back. Jesus, man, this is wild. I mean, seriously, look at this. All these people that are trying to rush the border illegally
would head to El Paso or another entry point here in Texas, like McAllen. But officials say they are expecting that group to start making that way closer once they kind of reach Mexico City. We'll kind of see what direction they head to. But El Paso saying they are in active communication with Mexican officials at the moment, tracking that group headed to the U.S.-Mexico border, Marky.
Yeah, and this group calling themselves God Guides Us. Yeah, we'll be interested to see, what they look like, where all they're coming from. What's been the reaction from leaders here at home?
My thing of it is, if God is guiding you, how about you go home and fix your own damn country? How about you do that?
To think about?
I mean, yeah, like, why won't y'all fix your own country? We got enough problems over here as it is without y'all, just rushing our country like that. Go home and fix your own shit.
Home, Jorge.
So News Nation's border team, we did obtain an exclusive statement from GOP Homeland Security Committee on this caravan saying, quote, this is from Chairman Mark Green saying, quote, it's quite simple would-be border crossers know that their best chance to be released into American communities is under the open border policies of President Biden and his border czar, Vice President Kamala Harris. He added that in his view, the crisis won't end until there's a change in policy and immigration laws are fully enforced. President Biden and Vice President Harris continue to defend the record on border security. President Trump saying if he wins, he'll carry out the largest deportation operation in American history using the National Guard and local police. Now, while Vice President Harris stresses the need to keep limits on asylum and close those loopholes, some have earned that pathway to citizenship. And Mark, I've been in contact with my Mexican sources who say they do expect for this caravan to actually be broken up around Mexico City. They expect for Mexican authorities to crack down on that group. So we probably won't see that big caravan all arriving all at once, but we'll probably see those smaller groups start to make it to the way to the U.S. border after that.
So hold on here. My question is, if they're expecting the Mexican border to break up the groups and things like that, okay, why haven't they done this already? These past 3 years and a half plus something like that. Why haven't they did it already? Why didn't they crack down in the first place? Why is all of a sudden it's such a crackdown now? Why is it that you didn't handle business beforehand? Because we've already had millions of illegals come in over the past 3 years. So what's the crackdown for now? Now, okay, cool. Please do so if you're going to do it. All I'm saying is though, why was y'all playing games before?
To that crackdown.
Yeah, and splinter off. I'll be talking to the vice president of the National Border Patrol Council on the show here in just a little bit. Have a lot of questions coming his way too. Jorge Ventura, thanks so much. And thanks for watching.
All right. And that's that on that one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that situation. And this is the thing right here. We cannot allow these individuals to keep coming in here all willy-nilly and stuff like that. It's going to affect our economy, of course, which it already has started to do so, things like that, because we are allocating funds to people that are not actual citizens. They can't even pay the taxes back from the money that we're giving them. And if they do get little side hustles and stuff like that, they're not paying taxes. So they're not giving any money back to do anything with. They're doing nothing but taking and shit out here. They're just taking. All right. So we're going to keep this thing going. And apparently this has come out now about the situation up in Colorado. Apparently the powers that be knew that this was going to happen before it happened. As far as the Aurora situation where they were taking over these people's homes and stuff like that at gunpoint, they knew that this was going to happen before it happened. Let's dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
An Aurora, Colorado councilwoman sounding the alarm with newly leaked emails suggesting people within the Aurora Police Department knew about the migrant gang threat for months. The councilwoman says an internal email went out last November saying, quote, TDA, or Tren de Aragua, has decided to make Denver their headquarters due to sanctuary policies and location. But nearly 1 year later, residents are being forced to leave their homes because of the violence still happening in their town. Former head of ICE's Denver region and Colorado congressional candidate for that district, John Fabricatori, joins us now. John, it's so great to have you on the show. This is infuriating, and I can't imagine if I was one of the residents who was being told that no, TDA is not in Denver, is not in Aurora, is not in Colorado, and finding out that there were emails and the cops knew. Your reaction?
Yeah, good morning, Rachel. It's an absolute mess. Danielle Jurinsky, the councilwoman here, she's been raising the alarm on this for about 2 or 3 months. Those of us like myself who have also been talking about this have been saying that Tren de Aragua was here, and leaders inside the community, the mayor, the city manager, the Aurora City Police Department leadership has denied it. And now these emails come out, and we're beginning to see exactly what they knew, at least for a year.
So now the emails come out. They knew for a year that these people were about to lose their homes at gunpoint.
You old fish-eyed fool.
And that, man, come on, people. Come on. And you got the mayor out there. Oh, no, you're not seeing what you're seeing. We don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing illegal happening here. We don't have a gang out here. We don't have none of this stuff. What are you talking about out here? This is crazy. Come on, man. This is sad and truly disrespectful. I hope they get whoever that mayor is that with the next election. I hope they get him the fuck up out of there because he's trash. He's a trash human being. His spirit is trash. His whole mindset is trash. He's not loyal to his constituents. He's not loyal to anybody. I hope they get him the hell up out of there their next election in Aurora. Seriously.
Yeah, they're not the only ones who knew. The federal government knew, DHS knew. I've been talking all the time about Congressman Troy Nehls, who wrote
the federal government and DHS? Jesus, man.
Wrote a letter to Alejandro Mayorkas from Homeland Security, over 2.5 years ago, saying, "Hey, you guys know that these prisons are being, these prisons are releasing prisoners who are in TDA, and you're telling the Border Patrol, hey, look out for these guys, but you're not telling citizens that this is happening while the border is open."
So I guess Trump was crazy when he was talking about they was releasing, that Venezuela was releasing their prisoners out of their prisons and psycho wards and sending them up here. So I guess he was crazy when he stated that fact, because obviously now it's a fucking fact. Emails have come out. We've also seen what happened, things like that. So now it's a fact that Trump was right. They were releasing their psychopaths and their prisoners out of Venezuelan prisons and shipping them up here.
So there's a lot of culpability to go around. So what was your reaction, for example, when you heard Martha Raddatz, when she was interviewing JD Vance, saying, "Well, it's only a few apartment buildings"?
It was ridiculous to me, because it should be 0 apartment buildings. We should have no Venezuelan gang members in the United States right now. And like you were mentioning, the vetting is horrible. We don't share criminal information with Venezuela. The Border Patrol is simply doing an NCIC check. They're not coming up with any criminal history on these guys, and they're simply letting them into the U.S. And now we see exactly what's happening here in Aurora, Colorado, where these guys are extorting people. They're kidnapping. They just cut the fingers off of a man here in Aurora in an extortion attempt. So, we have to put our foot down on this, because this gang needs to be stopped now before they get even stronger.
Yeah. And they're also...
Damn, they up there cutting fingers off people. Come on, man.
Setting up all kinds of sex trafficking, including child sex trafficking, and they're the ringleaders on that as well. It's really great to have you on, John. Thanks for...
And guess who they snatching up? Guess whose children they snatching up?
Joining us. Thanks for sounding the alarm on it, and hopefully someone like you will get a leadership position to put an end to it. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good morning.
You got it. We also got a statement from the police, and they said, "We must remember that police departments and the justice system as a whole must rely on admissible evidence, not hearsay, rumors, and fragments of information, contrary to claims made on social media and by select news organizations. The city, including APD, the Aurora Police Department, has remained consistent in responses on this matter."
I'm Steve.
Obviously, those are lies.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Talking about, man, this is crap. The Aurora police, things like that. The whole government has failed that whole little town.